Good morning. My name's Lindsay Schutz, and I am a DNP student at Palm Beach Atlantic University. I've been in this program for the past year and a half, so I'm halfway done, just about. And I'm here to talk about the fact that if I never decided to be a nurse practitioner, that my patients that I care for will forever be benefited by what I've learned. And I wanted to make an example, and a couple stories come to mind, but one of them was a few weeks ago. I had a patient who the morning lab showed that his calcium was really low. It was 6.6, which, as we know in the hospital, is considered critically low, and any critical values you need to report to the physician. And things that I've learned in my practicum with working with nurse practitioners and things I've learned in lecture, I realized that there is a formula for a corrected calcium with patients that are critically low like that. It takes into consideration albumin, and there's a formula that you do that afterwards you can decide whether or not the calcium is actually as critical as you think it is. So with a critical value of 6.6, after the corrected calcium formula, the calcium came up to about 8.2. So normal calcium 8.5, 8.2, that's not as alarming as 6.6. So with knowing that, and knowing that policy still requires me to call the physician, I had to make the phone call, and this doctor in particular can be a little difficult sometimes. So when I called him, I said, hi, Dr. So-and-so, I'm taking care of your patient today. I wanted you to know that his labs came back this morning, his calcium was low, but I did do the corrected calcium formula, and his calcium, though it says 6.6, it's really 8.2. And with that, he thanked me, which was impressive in itself. But he was also impressed that I took the initiative to realize that though I needed to report it because it's policy, he knew that I knew his patient wasn't in any kind of immediate danger with a calcium level so low. So that's one example that I may not have ever thought of doing if it wasn't for the knowledge that I've acquired over the last year and a half. And another one that comes to mind was a patient who came in with failure to thrive. It seemed like his mentality was that he was just done. He didn't want to participate anymore, and it was really sad because he was just a sweetheart of a man. And the physician, who is notorious for not really taking nurses' opinions seriously, came to me and he's like, Lindsay, what should we do? And me, not only having my oncology background, but just learning more about different medications and how they work, I had suggested Marinol. And at first he really wasn't open to the suggestion. And when a couple days later he came back, he's like, Lindsay, what was that medication you were talking to me about? And I mentioned it again. I said, but you really need to dose it at a higher level than what you would think. And so he started Marinol, started at the dose that I had recommended, and within 3 days he had been eating 100% of every single meal that he had been eating. And as we know, Marinol is appetite stimulant. So the doctor came back to me the next week when I came back to shift and was very appreciative of my suggestion, and the patient was discharged later to rehab and was doing a lot better with the addition of that medication. So I just want to encourage you, if you are watching this and you are thinking of starting the DNP program, or you're already started and you are overwhelmed and you don't know how you're going to continue, I just want to say, keep going, because no matter what happens in the end, what you're learning right now is just crucial to who you are as a nurse. And if you were not feeling overwhelmed and constantly questioning whether or not you wanted to continue this program, I would be wondering what was wrong with you, because it is overwhelming and it is stressful and it's hard, and it should be hard. This is not something that should be easy. These are people's lives that we are talking about. So I encourage you to keep moving forward, and if you are thinking of joining or starting this journey, please do. It's been wonderful so far for me. It has been stressful, but it has been worth worth it, and I see it, the evolution that I have become over the last year and a half is noticeable to me, which says a lot because I'm very hard on myself. So I'm appreciative of all that I've learned in the past year and a half, and very much looking forward to the next year and a half and how much more I can learn and glean from the people around me so that I can go off and be the best nurse practitioner that I know how to be. Thanks.